too far sticking out. The fist bump goes out. The Fool and Bug Freak, Xara and PixLB kicking things off. Zelda, Palutena.
See, again, fun. Palutena has been a dying breed over the course of the game's lifestyle. A fantastic character, a gatekeeper of mid-tiers, and on the other side, a mid-tier.
Yeah, wow, crazy.
So, it's going to be a little bit tough. But Zelda's fun to watch, that's for sure. I love how they manipulate the stage with the knight. I love how you can catch out opponents unaware with the surprisingly strong buttons that Zelda does have on those normals. The aerials, the fair and back air go crazy if you're really looking out for it.
My lord.
Down air, of course, too.
Yeah, needed that sweet spot in order to close out the stock. But I like where Xara's head is at already. She's already focused on, I'm going to try and hit teleport. I'm going to try and play out a shield early to catch any sort of rising aerials from PixLB, and I'm going to try and play out a parry as best I can as well. And she's swinging very early and disadvantaged twice over now with down air and the Nehru's Love. Got to be super careful about just how early you're committing to these buttons, or else Palutena will use that speed and whiff punish you to Kingdom Come. And of course, also got to remember, Palutena has that reflector, counter and reflector built into 2-in-1. That's a nice deal. So if you're throwing out that knight willy-nilly, you got to be careful because you might get checked. Speaking of checked, that did not quite work out for PixLB as Xara. She is trying to maintain that ledge pressure. You get bopped for it, of course, because yeah, that's what Palutena does sometimes. Yeah, a little bit too much movement on the dash dance for that ledge trap. You've got to play a little bit more with the knight. Got to play at this mid range because you're trying to play the mix up between something like a run up down tilt and a just like a dash back forward smash, right? Like those are two like really powerful options that Zelda has if you condition the approach. And right now, you have not conditioned the approach because you don't have that percent lead right now, Veteran. And this is anyone's stock. We're getting up here a little bit. If you poke Zelda, she can get that up B out of shield percentage, but guess what? Simple dash attack does the trick as Palu. Palu's got so many good buttons. The back air with the shield invuln, the dash attack with the shield invuln. You can create a little bit of a buffer space for you to hit those moves that you really want to, if you're trying to clash it out. And that calf clash, you do want to clash it out. You do want to clash it out, that's true. Any sort of trade here can mean the world. Tried for a super fuzzy mix-up. I love where the attempt of the spacing from Xara, but PixLB recognized, finds the shield grab, needs any of these strong hits, and nothing is sweet spotting right now. Up smash, maybe? Oh, goes for the grab. Missing out just in the nick of time, though, as PixLB chooses to apply the pressure, taking advantage of the fact that you're at such a high percent lead. You know that what the specific buttons that Xara's going to be looking for, so time to push the envelope a little bit. Light Phantom isn't going to do it. Instead, you can just continuously chip and chip away and make Xara more and more desperate. The lightning kick out of shield doesn't find it. And that's just the name of the game with Palutena. It's like, I have good buttons, and I have a very straightforward game plan. Finally, be gone! Be gone! I'm done with you. See you next stock. And that's, hey, finally you take it. Now you get a little bit of combos, a little bit of percent, and all things considered, even though PixLB has been so dominant in neutral, it's not that crazy of a percent difference right now. 22%, that's 1 or 2 hits. You're nice. You're in this game if you're Xara. Yeah, if there's anything that Zelda can do, it's damage output. Yes. Zelda players getting you to play her game is the problem. Oh. And you know what? We're starting to play the Zelda game if we're PixLB, focusing on the trapping, getting back to percent lead. Looks for drag down there, but PixLB not having it with that dash attack. Another pivot grab. PixLB trying to find these landing catches. Hold down the ledge trap, finds the neutral get up in the back air, taking the stock. Again, PixLB finds out, okay, you know what? I will simply close my eyes, and it will not be there. But if you close your eyes, look at the screen. Sometimes, some players ask you if, do you look at your own character, you look at the opponent's character. Sometimes I just like looking at my controller. Or I like to see what the people on the other side of the stage. Hey, what's the other setups doing? Sometimes we take a break from the game. It can get tiring. I get it. Yeah. So you got to take a breath for that mental reset, but you can't let yourself get too far away from the game, or else you'll find yourself at a massive deficit against a tank-like character. Looking for the 2-frame with the down tilt to combo into lightning kick. That's the big X factor right now, as well as the Aurora's wind out of shield. Yes. And this is rough, because again, Palutena buttons go crazy, but you need that to have the percent. Okay, and you're fast falling after that a little bit too low, and you don't have the jump. Means you can't quite get back. A little bit of a flub, not quite a forced error, but yeah, that's the way it plays out sometimes. PixLB had a very strong start, had the momentum, but once Xara, she's moving a little bit. Zelda doing Zelda things. Have a little bit of wisdom, so you win in the long term because you're a strategist. And you win that game 1. Now here's the trick. How many of those traps and how many of those setups did Xara give away in game 1, right? Because Zelda is a character who is based entirely on trapping, entirely around set play, to the detriment of a lot of her other attributes and a lot of other skills. So when you have a fast character like Palutena, you need to pull out those extra traps in order to make up the dividend of just raw base stats, but how much are you giving away too soon?
Yes.
That's the trick that Xara, she will have to manage. But PixLB, you've got a long set. Best of 5.
Best of 5.
Plenty of time.
You know, some people have likened Zelda to an onion. She has many layers. She has many layers. You know, you got the details of the tricks and the traps, like you said. So you can't get away with the whole. I think
Shrek 5 joke insert. Like
I didn't watch the trailer. That's all I'm going to say. But that's one of the fun things that higher level players do is like, okay, even if they see errors being played in the game, they don't always punish it until they need that specific scenario of like, can I take a stock here and gain 3 or 4? And they haven't had a chance to adapt because they never punished them yet. You got to pull something out like that. Yeah. So maybe if I'm PixLB and I'm maybe finding some mistakes, maybe you want to start pressing them now because you need to get yourself on the board. But if I'm Xara, I'm like, okay, what tricks do I have that I can keep the cards close to my chest for now? And when I have to play them, it'll be something new. Because like we haven't seen a lot of airs connecting or back airs connecting in those sweet spots this set so far. So if PixLB needs to be aware that they could just die at 80%.
Yeah, Xara she'd been going for a lot of just very straight up defensive options in defensive situations type of mentality early in game 1 and even later into game 1. But then on that final stock and now into this second game, we're just seeing a lot more like, I'm going to start swinging out of the corner. I'm going to land with Nair. I'm going to swing out a hit stun with a forward air and land with that ever-present Nehru's Love, which is just such a potent both defensive and offensive tool. Yes. Trying to set up for yet more phantom play in the forward smash. We're still swinging, but PixLB starting to play a little bit heavier on the dash back. See if you can find some. Wow, that was great.
Don't press buttons because guess what? You can hold down. You can float up a little bit. That is a hard-hitting hitbox of Furor's Wind. So please, you got to respect it just a little bit.
Just a touch. Crazy. And you know what? That one big imprinting moment of that first stock is going to sway ledge trapping for the rest of the set if PixLB doesn't play their cards right, or if Xara is able to let that conditioning ride for multiple games. Again, Nair from ledge. We're playing aggressive out of the corner, aggressive out of disadvantageous situations, and turning a hat on a hat, trying for the downer. I respect it. I respect it.
We get a little bit. She's laughing in the camera. You're like, okay, we're getting a little bit too funky fresh. If I'm PixLB, I'm thinking, okay, maybe I should just throw out, first of all, Palu attacks. Just a little bit. Not like 5 Nairs, just a few.
Yeah, just the Nair one to try and extend onto the platform, but the missing out on the combo for afterward is really going to hurt this percent dividend. But you're still in plenty Nair percent, but the parry is perfect.
If I'm PixLB, I'm like, okay, guess what? I have back air and I have dash attack, and those have a little bit of the protective shield on that. So maybe try to use that in those situations again, because it's disjoint, it protects you a little bit. And you got to find some good buttons here, because even though it's even, you didn't take the stock this game.
Yeah, not quite. Again, another huge landing fair, and those are the type of options that Xara has really been hunting for. We saw parries on high Nair. We've seen a up B out of shield on that high forward air as well. If anything is hitting the top of her shield, she is swinging.
And that's your win con. And then if you know your win con and it's working, we're taking it all the way to the bank.
Absolutely.
Okay, a little bit of reflection. 108%. Can you get a quick follow-up here?
That reflect always lasts longer than I think it does.
It does. It just like it lingers.
Just a little bit.
Okay, getting a little. I was about to say, what are you going to punish with? Because that is a very punishable move. It's a great get off me button, and again, back air at ledge. This is a disjoint. It's a little bit of a buffer window to protect me, and it hits good. So when in doubt, back air is your friend. Oh, a little bit of a bounce on that teleport.
Yeah, that's super rough. Saving the jump this time though, so the fastball air dodge doesn't close out the stock, and we're letting Nair rock in a very strange position, calling out the jump that was Xara, but not on the right timing. Up air was a little too slow. Get caught by the Phantom's early hitbox, swinging straight upward. Now we got the delay one. It'll swing upward again, and we're catching that jump in.
A second layer of the onion, if you will. A detailed trap. If you're rolling in, catch you with that up smash, we're good. And again, it's just the layers of I can do so many options out of this, and you're forced to press a button because that knight is threatening you.
Yeah, the knight is on a autonomous timer, so a lot of times you can read this as a weakness in many ways, a weakness and a strength, twofold, because while the Zelda is completely actionable, the Phantom will always act on the same timing every single time, so you can have a consistent counter timing in the case of Palutena, or for many other characters, a consistent parry timing, a consistent jump away timing. But if you're ever in a position like what 2Pixel was, where you need to try and make something happen because they're at a % deficit, the Zelda can act with intuition rather than just strict frames.
Yes. So it's unfortunate there. You know, if you're in that defensive situation, you got to act against the autonomous automaton. You know, that's just how it rolls sometimes. And sometimes you bet on red and it comes up black, and that's all you can really do. But you're down 2 games. You got to find something in the tank to pull yourself out because guess what? Losers bracket, it's going to be full of killers. So you got to put yourself on the board at some point, PixLB.
Yeah, that first game that you win, especially on stream, momentum can go crazy. Reverse 3-0s can happen. We've seen them throughout the entirety of Smash. I mean, 80% leads are a great way to start out to just get some wind in your sails. And we're reading out the Neruslov, we're covering, but again, that high teleport, as you mentioned, Rain, it's slowly going to come back into play if PixLB ever gets too aggressive.
Guess what? A little bit of reflect. Not quite enough to actually get a punish if you're Xara, but if I'm PixLB, I'm a little bit thankful. I'm like, okay, cool. I have a 20%. I just need to get hit as minimally as possible. Pressuring the ledge on the get-up, of course. Still not quite enough to take it.
Yeah, no fear in the eyes of PixLB there.
That's a good stop. This is a great
very,
game 3.
very
This is the sink or swim moment of your winner side bracket. So you're glad you're finding your footing.
Again, trying to pressure that 2-frame. It's a consistent timing on the teleport, but teleport highs can be dangerous. Finds the Furor's Wind with the angle as well to anticipate the DI and catching the neutral get-up at that time with the forward smash instantly answered on the side of Xara.
And this is an even game. After so much hard work from PixLB, just to like, okay, cool. I'm keeping with the momentum. I'm keeping the stage control. I'm pressing all the good buttons. Guess what? You're now at the loss again right now, and you're getting ledge trapped by the Knight. Okay, a little bit of air action, a little bit of back air action. Now we have a little bit of stage control. See how you do it on the other side of the foot now. I want to see some good ledge trapping. I want to see some good buttons, and Palutena's got plenty of those. That's a kick for kick right there.
Huge trade. Not typically in the favor of Palutena, but one they're going to, just spaced out enough in order to avoid the Furor's Wind. Has to get back to the stage very quickly. You don't want to deal with Zelda with any amount of center stage control, and you're not going to with that falling fair. We are swinging with the Neruslov. Burned to the jump, burned everything. PixLB wants these spot dodges and wants these neutral get-ups so bad to the point where they are just completely fine with taking the Furor's Wind hits. It's like, okay, if you throw me off with something like a Furor's Wind, that's fine. But if you throw me off with something like a Lightning Kick, that's way, way, way more concerning than any sort of thing that turns me back to neutral.
Exactly. And now guess what? You're in the driver's seat again. Not quite finding the pot. Oh, it was so close. Not quite finding it. Now it's a little bit of a scramble situation. One hard hit from either of these players could result in a good stock. Point blank reflect is not going to do it. Off the top, not quite.
Yeah, getting close though with this rage stacking higher and higher. We're at the point where Palutena really likes being in these positions against any character that doesn't have a ton of good straight hit kill powers. Yeah, you know, auto reticle now. Looking for dash attack. That's the button that PixLB relies on in these scrambles of high percent.
Okay, I like that. Just a quick hop over into the grab. Being patient, respecting it. Trying to go for a ledge trump there, not quite finding it, but it's the back air that does that trick. I was about to say, when are we going to get the roll behind that ledge into the back throw? The New York shuffle, if you will.
Yeah, the tri-state turnaround.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Don't want to get by the twister.
Yeah, Pixel's been feinting that a ton, and honestly, Pixel's been feinting a ton with just a lot of, like, I'll land a back air at 20 and then try and read a spot dodge or try to read a roll. Instead of just taking some guaranteed damage, when I feel like against a slower-paced character like Zelda, sometimes just taking the back air dash attack is just enough to start getting the ball rolling. Deposition, then go for the big damage.
Yeah, off the top, the bounce. The quick, the third layer of the onion revealed for the hat trick 3-0. That's Xara. She's coming out on top. And guess what?